We remain under green at Talladega. Dale Earnhardt Jr. continues to lead, followed by his teammate Michael Waltrip. 158 laps of 188 already on the board. 30 to go. A developing story concerning another championship contender. The 48 car of Jimmy Johnson has been on and off of pit road because of an overheating problem. Matt Yoakums is watching that pit, and the 48 may be headed your way again. Matt, here he comes.
Bill, they called him back into the pits. The water had climbed to 280 degrees at one point. A tough break for this driver who was fourth in the championship standings coming in. You heard him talk about the Discover car countdown to green. This was one of the biggest hurdles left in his championship chase. You can see some of the cosmetic damage to the front of the car from all the bump drafting. Earlier in the race, they put tape across the crease between the hood and the top of the grille screen. Now they're going to try to put water inside to cool it down. Ron Malik, one of the crew members, and Corey Quick, you can see them putting water in, trying to bring that water temperature down. The engine does sound sick, and it is smoking. Tough break for Jimmy Johnson.
That engine sounds really bad.
Really sick. Yeah, it's over. Yeah, that's too bad.
So Jimmy Johnson is pushed behind the wall, and another championship contender with troubles at Talladega. Joining Jeremy Mayfield, who was involved in the wreck, and Elliott Sadler, who has struggled from early in the race, although Sadler remains on the track.
Now, Jeff Gordon in the 24 car is running back in about 10th position on the bottom of the racetrack. Remember, earlier on, we reported that he liked the high line. I guess he just can't get up there, but he certainly can't get any help on the low line. He was running about 3rd or 4th. He's fallen back 5 or 6 positions.
He's got no friends out there, BT. Well, he's got some guys with him now, but there was about 5 or 6 laps where nobody was behind him. He was just running that line by himself, and that's why he lost all the ground to the leader, Earnhardt Jr.
As Ward Burton, the 0 car, finally gets up behind the 24 car.
28 laps to go. Take a look at the championship standings as they race.
You don't see Jimmy Johnson on this list so far.
And around 7th. Yep. 3 spots. Lost 3 spots.
And Jeremy Mayfield, as we talked about, involved in that crash. Now 283 points out with 7 to go.
And Elliott Sadler back in 9th. He's taken a heavy hit today in the NASCAR Nextel Cup points.
Jeff Gordon with a blocking move on the 29 car.
The mirrors are coming in handy now.
Dave.
Well, the 29 would actually like to work with the 24 earlier on. Kevin Harvick radioed in, tell the 24 to stay in line. That was right before Jeff Gordon passed him, and with a move like that, I'm not sure how much Kevin will want to help Jeff.
No, I don't think so anymore. In fact, I think you'll see that 29 go by him if he can.
Thinking about it.
But Jeff is really blocking this morning. You know, yesterday we talked about Jeff Gordon has 4 mirrors inside that 24 car, trying to figure out where the cars are around there. We see Tony Eury Jr. in the red shirt go over and talk to Slugger and Labby, the blue shirt, trying to get some strategy when they're going to come down pit road, get their gas. They want to do it at the same time.
Slugger and Labby, the crew chief for Michael Waltrip in that 15 car. Again, those are teammates, the 8 and the 15. They're running 1-2 here at Talladega with 26 to go.
This morning, Jeff Gordon added yet another mirror to his car wall, a fisheye mirror on the left doorpost that he can really see way out wide.
I didn't think they had any more room for mirrors in that car.
He has 2 on the left doorpost.
Kevin Harvick's going to steal some of those mirrors after this race is over.
Nope.
He goes by Jeff Gordon.
Yep. Can't see him in his mirror anymore, can he?
It looks to me like the 24 car might have a problem.
He doesn't have any friends. That's his problem.
Maybe that's right.
Wow, look at the bumpers and the rear bumpers of these cars. I'll guarantee you the next Superspeedway, all these cars are going to be even more reinforced in the front bumper and the rear bumper.
More deal making going on. The 97 team of Kurt Busch talking to the 24 of Jeff Gordon.
I mean, Kurt Busch is up in 4th spot right now, so I don't know what they'd be talking about.
They're talking about probably what lap they're going to come on. We're coming here in case nobody else does, because Jeff has lost the 48. And everybody's been talking about it all weekend, all week leading up to this race. The powerful 1-2 punch and the 1-2 finishes delivered by Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. Including here 1 year ago.
With Waltrip the winner and Junior in second spot.
And we talked about it earlier. Tony Eury Sr., the crew chief for Dale Earnhardt Jr., said that they had talked about a plan where the setup for the 8 would be to lead and the gearing for the 15 would be to push the 8 if he was in the lead. You don't believe everything you're told, but
no.
that looks like it's working. Yeah. You especially don't believe it when you come here.
Marty, we got more deal making going on down there?
Oh, yeah. It's like a poker game down here, BP. The 17 and 97 are making a deal together. Jeff Vandermoss, the car chief for Matt Kenseth, has come to Kurt Busch's pits. Remember earlier, Matt did not help Kurt out. They now have a deal. They will work together wherever they go, trying to get those 2 Roush cars to the front. Matt.
And Dale Earnhardt Jr. came on the radio and asked his team, how long will he have to sit on pit road for fuel? Tony Eury Jr. said, not long at all. You have to take care of those tires when you make your entry to pit road. Jr. said 10-4. He also said how he loved, as Slugger Labby comes back down to the 8 pit to talk things over with Tony Eury Jr., he also said, I love it when I'm being pushed way up high at BP. It takes him back to your era when you guys used to rim ride in those old Dodges and big old Mercury Cyclones.
Yeah, he loves that high line. Always has loved it here. Unfortunately, he's had to run low sometimes because that's where the car was the fastest, but he would prefer to be up there next to the outside retaining wall.
You know, those Roush guys need to be also talking to that 01 car, Joe Nemechek. Because if they're going to pull out and try to beat Earnhardt and Waltrip, they're going to need more than 2 guys. They're going to need 3 or 4 guys to go with them.
The 48 car of Jimmy Johnson retired from the race. We saw him pushed behind the wall.
See Nemechek there in 5th spot in front of Tony Stewart.
How about Kenny Schrader? We got to give a call to Kenny Schrader up there in the, where, Bill, 8th spot.
That's exactly right. Got his first win here. That's Chad Knaus, the crew chief for the 48 car, talking to his driver, Jimmy Johnson, who will now climb out and turn his attention to next week's race in Kansas City.
Because this one's over.
For him, it is. Dave Burns.
With Jimmy Johnson right now. Jimmy, saw you shaking your head talking to Chad. Can you describe how you feel?
I mean, just what can you do, you know? I don't know, we had some damage on pit road, and that, I don't know if that hurt the air duct or what, or we couldn't cool the car down. But long and short, you know, cooked the motor, and if it's meant to be, if the championship is, it'll come back to us. If not, you know, oh well. We've done all we can. It's not from lack of work or effort from this race team. These guys work their guts out day in and out, and I'm very proud of them. And we can just, you know, all we can do is race hard, and we can't control everything, so we'll just take it from there.
You've had 2 good runs, Jimmy. Everyone said that maybe you can have 1 mulligan in this. What do you think?
Possibly. I mean, I'm in that group with the rest of those guys that, you know, have had some troubles. I hate to be there. You know, wish that I wasn't, but we'll just race hard and see what we can do from there. And everybody, it's a long year yet. We'll see what happens. You know, Lady Luck hasn't been too kind to many people in this final 10, so we'll see how she treats everybody else.
In April, Jimmy Johnson finished 4th, guys. Today, he will not finish the race.
I still disagree with you on that one. But
What's that?
I think you don't have a mulligan.
Well, again, you may be right.
We'll have to see. But I mean, if everybody has bad luck, but
well, that's what I'm talking about. I think everyone is going to have trouble in at least one race. Maybe not.
With 7 to go after this race, right now Johnson 172 back.
With Jeff Gordon on, you know, this guy hasn't had a bit of trouble in either of these races so far.
boy, he has got nobody down there with him.
Let's check down on pit road. How about the 8, Matt?
A lot of conversations between Slugger Labby and the Urys. They've decided to pit around lap 178 to 179. The 15 and the 1 will come with the 8. They're all in the same boat. Meanwhile, Tony Eury Jr. also told Dale Jr., we are going to also make sure that we get enough just in case we get a green-white checker finish, which we didn't have here in April, Marty.